All right, guys, welcome back to PWTB. We got our final guest of the day. We got Stuart. Stuart, how you doing?
Doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. And I see that you're an author on Twitter. I just wanted to ask you, what books have you read? Have you wrote for the viewers?
I mean, I've only written and self-published one book so far, but I do have a second one in progress that I'm hoping will be completed by or before the year's end. So,
Okay. So for viewers that haven't read your books, what
mhm.
are they about? What can you tell us about them?
Well, um, my book is really it's addressing what I feel are some of the more popular cultural and social issues that exist in society, stuff that I've dealt with personally and that I've witnessed firsthand. And I've taken a lot of college courses, and it just changed my perspective on life and on people and on day to day. And it made me start thinking, like, why do people think the way they do? Why do people do the things that they do? And I started really just digging a lot deeper. And I had a couple things happen in my own family, and it just, made me think, okay, well, maybe maybe put my thoughts down, would be a good idea. I didn't expect it to turn into a book, to be honest. It was just me just
Hmm.
writing, but then it just turned into a book, and I just, started talking about my life experiences, really.
So what made you want to become an author? What?
I mean, I don't my original dream, I don't know if it was really to become an author. I mean, I did enjoy reading, and I had a lot of authors that I looked up to and that I respected. I did try writing a book when I was much younger, which kind of fell through, and I just nothing ever became of it. And then as I got older and I lived life and I started experiencing and different things in life and gaining knowledge and just going through a lot of stuff. I used to post a lot of things on Facebook, and a lot of my friends were like, "Wow, that's a really cool perspective. I never thought about it like that." Or, "Wow, that's actually a really interesting, that makes a lot of sense." And people on Facebook, my Facebook friends, and just people, colleagues, they liked what I wrote, and then I decided, okay, well, I mean, I guess maybe I should do something with this. And someone did suggest, why don't you just write a book and share your mentality, because it's your story. Share it. If you want people to know about it, share it with the world. So I said, okay, well, I guess I'll consider it, and that's what it really happened. Again, it wasn't meant to be a book, 'cause I didn't really take it seriously, but that's what it turned into.
Right. So being an author, who are some of those like authors that you look up to? Who do you like who inspires you to write your books? Like who do you look up to?
I mean, I look up to Paulicello, because the very first book I really like read that inspired me a lot was The Alchemist. I've been inspired by a lot of the books by like Stephen Hawking, John Grisham, Anne Rice, and a few others. But just I'm selective with what I read. I'm really picky with the types of material that I read, because if I don't connect with it, if I don't feel like a personal connection with the storyline or with the characters, I don't. I lose my interest I lose my interest in it. I've learned. So I've just, I'm selective, but and also Stephen Hawking, a lot of his material also inspired me, because I've always had a fascination for, astronomy and science and space. So just, yeah, various authors, really.
Who would you say your writing style is most like?
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if it's like anybody's, because I write for me. I write the
Hmm.
type of literature that I would want to read. I write like as if I'm actually sitting down with you face to face and we're talking, we're having a conversation. I'm writing the book not like I'm telling you a story, but like we're actually having a serious, civilized discussion, a conversation. That's how I write it. I just write it based on how I talk to people. So I wouldn't say it's like anybody's, really.
So Evan, I'm gonna open it up to open discussing here. Evan, do you got a question you want to ask?
Yeah, very, very cool story. So some basic questions about your book and then a little more in depth.
Mhm.
What's the title again?
It's called Stopping a Dangerous Revolution.
Stopping a Dangerous Revolution. Cool. And basic, like how the book is structured, like how many chapters, how many pages, is it structured in a way, or
Um,
just basic, or
I mean, it not. I mean, it kind of is structured, but there, I made it 13 chapters intentionally because 13 is a lucky number in my religion. I'm Jewish, and 13
okay,
we consider 13 a lucky number. And I figured I want to have 13. I want to have 13 chapters. I also had my bar mitzvah at 13, and it's just it's just a lucky number. So
13's
I
your number, it sounds like. Yeah.
well, I
Well,
it's my lucky number, and I thought, if I have 13 chapters, it's just yeah, I went with that. I really was gonna have 16, but then I was like, I don't know if I really want to have these extra chapters in there because I I don't know how I feel about these other topics per se. Maybe I'll save this for book number two. So I just stuck with 13.
okay.
So,
So you, oh,
really quick,
well,
I
hang on,
just
Jake.
wanted to make
Oh, okay. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
really quick, I just wanted to mention I'm Jewish as well, so I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I don't come
Yeah.
across a lot of Jewish people, but that's really
Yeah.
awesome. It's really cool to know.
Nice connection. Yeah. So I just had another question kind of about you talked about what happened with your family. We don't have to get into that, but
Hmm.
you said when you have like especially when you read something you have a personal connection.
Hmm.
You need a personal connection to read something. Is it kind of like that with writing? Like it makes it easier it makes it easier to write if it's personal for you?
I mean, it just flows better. It flows. I don't have to put a whole lot of deep thought into it. It just comes out natural. I mean, it's not a requirement that I connect with it. It's not a requirement. I mean, I'll read it if I enjoy it, even if I don't relate to it entirely. If there's parts that I do like and that I can understand or that I can find some kind of a relation to, then that's enough for me. So it's not a requirement. It's just a preference. So yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense. One more question.
Sure.
Is you talked about like in college as you learn more,
Hmm.
you had changes of opinions on some
Hmm.
stuff in
Hmm.
society. What would you say is one thing that really stuck out where you believed something else beforehand, you were better informed on the topic and you changed your mind or took a different path, I guess. But
Yeah. I've always had when I was growing up, my family was very judgmental. They would take one look at you and they would just immediately just say, "Nope, I don't like you," and that's it. They wouldn't even give you a chance. And a lot of my friends did not like coming over to my house because if one of my parents was there, they didn't want to do that. And I took intro to psychology. I took philosophy. I took applied ethics, world religions, and a few other courses. And it made me realize, the biggest problem that I've been having in life, or the worst trait of myself, is that I would judge people because that's how part of my family was. They were very judgmental, and I judged people wrongfully, and I never befriended people that I really wish I had because I feel like my life would have been a little bit different. Well, not a little bit. I feel like my life would have been different in terms of my social interactions if I had given people a fair chance and actually got to know them better rather than just, you know, judging them from a first interaction or second interaction. So that's the biggest thing.
yeah, makes a lot of sense.
So we're so real quick, when is that book coming out?
I mean, the work in progress, I'm hoping it'll be ready with, by December. Before Christmas is what I'm aiming for. So that's the goal.
All right, guys, you heard it here first. Month of December, go check out Stuart Miller's book. Stuart, we appreciate you coming on. We appreciate your time, man.
Thank
I
you.